I wasn't gone because I stopped believing. I was gone because I couldn't recognize the person I had become. Sometimes survival looks like silence. Sometimes healing sounds like distance. And sometimes the strongest thing you can do is disappear long enough to find yourself again. Everybody kept asking where I went, like absence was a headline instead of a wound. They counted calendars, I counted nights, I barely survived. I wasn't chasing fame, I wasn't chasing sympathy. I was chasing a version of myself that hadn't been swallowed by anxiety. Every mirror introduced me to a stranger. Every morning felt heavier than the last. I smiled in conversations, then broke apart before I reached home. I answered, I'm okay. So many times the lies started sounding like my own voice. My phone stayed silent, not because people forgot, because I stopped believing anyone could understand the war inside my head. Some battles don't leave bruises, they leave empty rooms. Missed birthdays, unread messages, dreams collecting dust on shelves. People called it disappearing, I called it surviving. If you only knew how loud silence can become. If you only saw the nights I almost surrendered, maybe you wouldn't judge the distance I had to create. I didn't quit, I disappeared to rebuild the soul that fear had nearly buried. I disappeared, not because hope was dead, but because I refused to let darkness write my ending. Fighting for my life. Depression doesn't always scream. Sometimes it whispers, stay in bed. It convinces you you're a burden before breakfast. It teaches your own thoughts to speak like enemies. I carried conversations nobody else could hear. Every achievement still felt empty. Every compliment sounded like a mistake. Every dream felt too far away. Faith became difficult, not because I stopped believing, because I couldn't hear anything above the noise inside my own mind. Still something refused to let go, a tiny light almost invisible, but enough to keep me breathing one more day, one more sunrise, one more chance. Maybe healing was never supposed to look impressive. Maybe recovery was always meant to be messy. Maybe scars are proof the story kept going. Now I understand why storms exist, not to destroy every tree, to reveal which roots run deepest. Pain introduced me to strength I never knew existed. Loneliness taught me how valuable genuine people are. Failure humbled me, grace rebuilt me. The person returning today isn't the person who disappeared. He's wiser, he's slower to judge, quicker to forgive. Still healing, still learning, still carrying scars, but no longer ashamed of them, because every scar proves I stayed alive. I didn't quit. I didn't quit. I didn't quit. Woo! I didn't quit. 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 Disappeared long enough to remember who I was. The darkness chased me, but couldn't keep me. Fear spoke loudly, faith spoke longer. You thought my story ended, but this chapter is where it truly begins. If you've disappeared too, I hope you hear this. You don't owe the world an explanation. Braided every version of me, never questioned the room. But the moment I started asking, who am I beneath the applause, the silence got uncomfortable. Funny how people love your strength until it reminds them of their weakness. They'll cheer for your comeback, but disappear during your recovery. I spent years trying to earn a place at tables that would've never noticed if my chair stayed empty. So I stopped begging for acceptance, started building a life that didn't need permission, because peace isn't found in everybody clapping. Sometimes it's found when you're finally okay with hearing nothing at all. The hardest prison was never four walls, it was every expectation. I chained around my own neck, be stronger. Don't cry, keep producing, don't let them down. Every sentence became another brick until I couldn't remember what freedom felt like. So I walked away, not from purpose, from pressure. I had to learn that my value was never measured by how exhausted I could become trying to prove it. Now every sunrise feels less like survival and more like another chance to become someone I don't have to hide from. I still have bad days where memories knock louder than hope, days where regret finds the smallest crack and tries to convince me nothing really changed. But healing taught me something pain never could. Progress isn't perfection, it's standing back up even when your knees. Remember every fall is believing tomorrow can carry something better than yesterday ever did. It's choosing faith when feelings refuse to cooperate. That's courage, not never breaking, and deciding to build anyway. If you're listening from the middle of your own collapse, please don't mistake this season for your identity. Storms of expiration dates, night eventually runs out of darkness. Even seeds have to disappear underground before anyone calls them alive. Maybe that's where you are, hidden, growing, changing, not forgotten, just becoming. One day the same people who wonder where you went will wonder how you came back stronger than before. And you'll smile, not because life became easy, but because you finally realized you survived a chapter that almost convinced. I wasn't missing, I was learning how to breathe without carrying everybody else's expectations. You saw empty pages, I was rewriting the ending. You saw distance, I was putting space between me and the voices that convinced me I'd never be enough. I stopped answering calls because I couldn't answer myself. How do you explain a pain that has no address? How do you describe a heart that's still beating but forgot how to feel alive? So I disappeared, not to escape life, to escape the version of me that fear had created. I buried my emotions under deadlines and distractions. Thought if I stayed busy enough, the pain would eventually get tired and leave me alone. It didn't. It learned my routine, waited until midnight when the world got quiet and my thoughts got loud. Every regret started introducing itself again. Every mistake played on repeat. Every what if sounded like a life sentence. That's when I realized running from your mind only teaches it how to chase you faster. People only notice when I stop showing up. Nobody noticed when I stop smiling first. Nobody noticed the fake laughs, the empty victories, the prayers that never made it past the ceiling. They saw the absence but missed the warning signs. Sometimes the loudest cry for help looks exactly like silence. Sometimes the strongest person is the one who's barely holding together. God, I kept asking if you were listening, because heaven felt quiet while my mind sounded like a battlefield. I wasn't asking for riches, I wasn't asking for fame. I just wanted one morning where my first thought wasn't another fight. Then I realized faith isn't always hearing answers. Sometimes it's choosing to keep walking even when all you hear is your own footsteps. I came back different, not louder, not tougher, just more honest. The mask became too heavy to keep wearing. I'd rather lose people for telling the truth than lose myself pretending everything is fine. Healing stripped away everything fake. What's left isn't perfect, but it's real. Every scar, every scar used to embarrass me. Now the evidence, proof that pain didn't get the final word. Proof that depression didn't know my future. Proof that every chapter I wanted to erase became the reason someone else will believe they can't survive theirs too. Maybe that's why I disappeared, not to vanish forever, but to return to someone who finally knows what fighting for your life actually looks like. If one day you wake up and nobody understands why you've gone quiet, don't confuse solitude with failure. Some transformations need darkness. Some victories happen where nobody applauds. The world may call it disappearing, but if you're healing, if you're rebuilding, if you're finding pieces you thought were gone forever, then maybe you never disappeared at all. A headline, just another person staring at the ceiling, trying to convince himself tomorrow was worth meeting. I became a ghost inside my own routine. Wake up, work, smile, pretend, repeat. Nobody questioned it, because broken people can become experts at looking normal. I spent years trying to fix everyone else's storms. Meanwhile, my own roof was collapsing. I kept handing out hope with empty hands, kept pouring into people from a cup that had been dry for a long time. Eventually, I had nothing left. That's when I learned you can't save the world while drowning yourself. My anxiety never knocked to kick the door in, turned every decision into a courtroom, every memory into evidence, every future into another reason to panic before it arrived. I wasn't living, I was rehearsing disasters that never happened. Imagine fighting monsters only your mind could create, and still finding the strength to stand up every morning. I remember begging for one peaceful night, just one night, without replaying conversations, without wondering if I disappointed everyone, without carrying guilt for things that weren't even my fault. Sleep became a stranger, hope became a whisper, but somewhere buried beneath exhaustion, a heartbeat refused to surrender. Failure introduced itself like it owned my house, sat at my table, ate my confidence, laughed every time I dreamed bigger. For a while I believed every word until I realized failure never built anything, it only talks. The builders, the survivors, the fighters keep moving even while doubt is screaming in their ears. The hardest apology I ever gave was to myself, for believing I deserved less, for accepting half-hearted love, for confusing attention with acceptance, for staying where my soul was slowly disappearing. I forgave everyone else, the last person I had to forgive was me. God never promised the road would be easy, but he also never said I'd have to walk it alone. Looking back, every moment I thought I was abandoned was another moment I somehow survived. Coincidence? Maybe. Grace? I believe so, because I'm standing here with scars that should have become graves. You won't recognize me now, not because success changed me. Pain did, silence did, loneliness did. The prayers nobody answered immediately changed me. I don't chase applause anymore, I chase peace, because the loudest room can still leave you empty, and the quietest prayer can rebuild an entire life. So if you're wondering where I've been learning how to breathe again, learning that healing isn't a straight line, learning that courage sometimes looks like getting out of bed, learning that faith isn't the absence of fear, it's walking forward while fear keeps grabbing your shoulder. I didn't quit, I didn't lose, I didn't disappear forever, I stepped away so the broken version of me could finally rest, and the person standing here today didn't come back to prove anything. He came back because hope finally found him. hope. Finally found him.